Good afternoon. I'm Sara Van Zee, and I am the Mission Director here at First Reformed Church. And today I'm privileged to have Bernice Huitink-Buiter and Jasmine Joseph joining us today. Bernice is from Canada, and she helps to kind of give direction and be a sounding board for the school at Children of the Promise. And Jasmine is here. She is the principal at Children of the Promises School. She has her master's in education and has a very big vision for what's happening at the school. And so I wanted to invite both of them here to kind of give us a glimpse into what we're hearing on the news and what they're seeing in the school, and give words to their hope that they see for the children and the country. So thank you for joining us. Jasmine, I'm going to start with you. You were born and raised in Haiti.
Yes.
And you went to a school there and got your education.
Yes, of course.
What did that mean for you growing up?
Okay, before I answer the question, I would like to greeting everyone who hear us. It is like a privilege for us to be here, especially me as a Haitian. So I grew up in Haiti. It's like I love my country so much. So that's why I invest of all my life in my country. So it's like a seed I would like to say. In my country, one day I can see this kind of fruit we are looking for in my country. So since I was a child, I remember when I went to a evangelical church, and then there is a school, and there is a school there. This is the way the school my parents put me. So it was good for me to find some teachers and pastor make some impact in me, especially in ministry. That since that day I involved in church, and then I go like department, children department, and at 9, I said to my mom, I would like to accept Christ in my life. But my mom said, you are too little. We cannot do this. Say, oh, I don't think so, Mom. God take care of child also. So I said that to my teachers. Say, yeah, you can. Say, yes, I do. And when I have 14 years old, so I understand. And then there's a story. I will be a brief. And I said to my mom, one day I would like to be a pastor. Say, you will become a pastor? How we will take care of you? Say, oh, I will be a pastor, Mom. So I think since that day, God has not for what I want. So I get my bachelor in theology, and then after that I'm involved in ministry in Hope Baptist Church as deaconess, and then I involved in evangelism of children each summer in order to say the spiritual things. Evangelization is very important for kids. So it is the best way we can seed for heart kids. So I feel enjoy, and then that way I see, wow, I want to be more knowledge, to have more knowledge, and I went to Emmaus University. There I get my master degree, and then I keep going. And interesting, during this time when I went there, so there is a course. A girl is one of my teachers told about um, transformation, Christian school, and I said, yeah, this is what we are looking for my country, to have some kind of Christian school. In Haiti, most of the school called Christian school, they are not, because they are part of a church. They say they are Christian school. But so when I took this course, I understand what does that mean, in what kind of thing we can do to be a Christian school. So when I involved there at COTP, Children of the Promise, so I felt good to invest in my society, in this community, so one day to bring hope in Haiti. Even though there is some kind of things is not good, but there is some good thing happen too, because I'm surprised. Yes, I'm surprised to be Haitian. We have a good temperature. We have a lot of beaches. Our food is very good, so I like it. But there is some trouble. There is a few things happen. But I think through education, yes. Through education, we will can change. That's why this is our motto: God, education, transformation. This is what we will promote. I'm very happy to be here, and I'm very happy to be with my friends Bernice. Yes. She's a very good coaching. Say, go ahead, keep going, Jasmine. We can do it. So this is this time. It is blessing time for us to talk with you guys who are listening to us. What's going on in my country, Haiti, in what hope we can do in that country through Children of the Promise.
Yeah, I love that. I love that from a young age, you already heard God saying, I have a plan for you. And I've been able to witness, and I'll let Bernice speak to this too, watching God work through you to really change. I mean, Bernice, you have been involved with the school prior to Jasmine. You've watched this transformation of God's call on her life and the vision that she brings. Do you want to speak to that a little bit?
So I got involved in Children of the Promise directly in 2016, 2017, when I was invited into working with Children of the Promise to integrate the school with the mission of Children of the Promise. And so when I came, it was a school that had a lot of hope. Like, there was hope there for children to learn, and to learn how to be God's people in this world. And there were a lot of things, like, we can continue to grow all the time. The school was called L'École L'Amour de Dieu, the Love of God School. And so we hung on to that. And then eventually we changed our name to, like I said, Christian School. I worked with the staff and with the principal at that time, working on curriculum development, working on vision of what the school ought to be. And then I ended up leaving when COVID hit, and so I wasn't able to be part of that. However, shortly after that, I was invited into interviewing Jasmine along with the team in Minnesota. And so we interviewed, and it was just such a blessing, because it just felt like the vision and the perspective that Jasmine was speaking just fit in to move the school forward. And so, yeah, we come from a place. The school started before 2000. I think it was around 2000. And I have been a part of many different schools, and there's always movement, and there's always the past, which lays foundations, and then there's the present, which works, and then which works on the present and how to be a Christ follower, how to be involved in education, how to learn with Christian perspective, and then there's always the forward. And so those three always work together. So we always have to see where we came from, where we are today, and where we're moving towards. So working with Jasmine in the today, in the present, and into what is to come has been just an incredible blessing. And to be able to walk alongside her and the staff, I think for one of the real blessings that I was part of walking alongside the staff before Jasmine came, and then when Jasmine came, I think that has really built trust and has built the assurance that this new vision, or this building of the vision that was there before, continues, and it has to be ever changing. And working with so many different schools, I realize I know that we can never stop. We never stand. We always need to work, because the world keeps going and the world keeps changing. And so to be a part of a school that puts God first, but not only first, but in everything and through everything. And it is through that education that we're going to find transformation. But that transformation, that's a word that keeps going and going and going. And so I'm just really thrilled and excited to be part of that journey.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know, and I know if you walk around the facility at all with Jasmine, the little light that we see right now just is always.
Yep.
It's always.
Praise God.
Praise God.
Yeah.
She is always walking around, and she can see God's work
Absolutely.
at work.
Absolutely.
But I'm going to pair that with, right now, we're hearing things in Haiti. And that can be really hard. Like, you can see the hope, but the reality sometimes feels really heavy.
Yeah.
So what particularly are you seeing in the North? Are you seeing, how would you differentiate that from what we're seeing on the news, where they're saying, don't go, Haiti's really going downhill? Like, what are you seeing the effects?
Okay. This is what I'm thinking about that. There's some time when we can have some much of people they sell something from Haiti. It's very hard, but it's not in reality the truth. By the way they comment, they make things become worse. For example, we have some too much people are available to give news, so they are not really qualified to make it. There is too much freedom in it. So even though they see something, they just make some picture and send it to media, social media. So that make things what I'm seeing and what they are hearing is different. For example, in the North, we are sometimes there's some kind of protestation, but it's not with a lot of violence. But it is secure, it's safe. I work. If I have a meeting, I go to a meeting. So But in the rest, there is as we can see, there is some people who protest differently than us. That I there is some guys go to PowerPoints and they return. So I know there is some kind of political issue in it, but that doesn't mean we cannot go there. It's like they go, we are not safe at all. So it's really like an opportunity to, so those who want to see, come and see. There is Nathanael, where in the Bible it say, okay, come and see. Come and see.
Nathaniel, yeah.
And Thomas said, if I don't touch the hands of God to Jesus, so I said, okay, now you see. So the best way I can tell you, come and you will see the difference.
Yeah. In fact, just yesterday, tell them what the kids at the school were doing.
Yesterday was a very good moment. I miss that event.
Yeah, because you were in the United States.
I miss that event. That we have like a theme: plant tree, plant hope. That means
Plant a tree, plant hope.
Plant a hope. Plant hope. That mean we don't send plant. We don't send plant for today.
Yeah.
We plant it for tomorrow,
future.
for future. So that's will our hope. That's will our hope as leader, as missionary, as missioners. That is an opportunity to plant, to invest in for new generation, because what we are seeing what one thing we can correct something to let the other generation see differently and think differently. That will be our hope.
Yeah, you gave, during lunch, you kind of gave me an analogy of if you ask somebody who'd never seen an elevator or stairs, like, I'm going to come build a house and I'm going to have 4 floors.
Yeah.
And they were in a wheelchair, but they've only ever seen stairs. And they said, well, no, why would you build 4 floors? I will never use them.
Yeah.
And if they only understood, maybe there would be an elevator and they would get a new perspective to understand there might be a new way that we can't see now, but that will build that future, that will expand their mind to, oh, there's more.
I think it is that way we should go for new generation. So what we see, we can see something. If we don't have some explanation, we just say it. But when we get some explanation, we know it.
Yeah. Bernice, what would you say you're the most hopeful for or most excited about what ISEP is doing?
All right. I had 3 years that I couldn't go to the school, go to ISEP. And last summer I was able to go back. And it was amazing. I think watching, in particular, the development of inclusivity. And so kids of all abilities are welcome there. That took a huge step of faith on the part of Children of the Promise. And with Jasmine leading that vision, was we've got to include everybody in education. It's hard in Haiti for students who have disabilities, physical disabilities or intellectual disabilities, to enter the education scene. And so ISEP is a real a forward thinker and an inspiration for Haiti in developing this program. So when I came there last year, like there's 25 wheelchairs in the courtyard in the morning where we're going to sing and we're going to do our daily devotions, right? And then they all go off to their classes, and some of the kids in wheelchairs are actually going into the classrooms. They're going into preschool 1, preschool 2, preschool 3. There was a young gentleman who gets pushed in his wheelchair into the grade 4 classroom, the 4th grade classroom. And his friends lift up the wheelchair and put it into the classroom. And I am just amazed and just see that, right? Then there's a whole number of other children who are wheeled into another building, the special ed building. And in that special education building, there is a sensory room. And so some of the children get to go into the sensory room, and then other children get to go into a classroom where they are taught individually. There's an individual education plan for each of these students. And to watch the kids, each one of them being treated special, each one of them being treated with dignity and with respect and with absolute love and care. And to be able to be part of that growth was just amazing. Also to me was very amazing when I got there last year was that in the past when I was there was a staff of 12 for 300 kids. And then when I was there last year, I saw with my own eyes, I knew it, but I saw it with my own eyes, that there's a staff of 45. 45. Each classroom has at least one teacher and 1 or 2 assistants. There's a leadership team that meets together all the time and figures out how to do education in the different departments, whether it's the preschool, whether it's the elementary, whether it's the special ed. They all have their role, and they work under and with Jasmine. And I should say that Jasmine works with them. They don't work under her. They work together. She has an admin team who takes care of the administrative stuff. So cool. And she has a spiritual leader, Benoit, who leads devotions and leads the spiritual climate of the school with staff and with students. So, I mean, I can go on and on because there's so many great things that are happening. It's so fun to see how God's Spirit is so alive and well and working through all of us there.
Yeah.
And then I want to remind something. We have a good operation team. Yeah, the operation team in COTP. We met together. We met every week and we discuss and we can share our vision. It's the best place. I feel proud of them. We have a good Patrick there to what's happened. Give me some feedback and we can discuss and when we if I have a vision, we don't have another person embrace this vision. We cannot deliver or we cannot implement that vision. So I'm proud of those. I'm proud of them. So by the way we are talking, by the way when we have like a kind of synergy when we meet together and we discuss what's going on. So I miss them.
and really that gives Jasmine the support and the encouragement and just the way to implement her vision, because she's not alone. She's got a team. And so she's got her team on campus, but she's also got the operation team. So there's different levels of how that works out.
Yeah, it is a blessing.
It is.
It is a blessing.
Yeah. I'm just going to ask, what have you seen? How have you seen the community change because you are a school who is inclusive to children with special needs?
Oh, it's a good question. It's a good question. We have some we have some students inside in it. Some students who have disability in the campus, and we have some students out of the campus. So there is some who live far from the campus. Sometimes in tap this is that way we take care of a teacher brought
yeah, because their wheelchairs stay at school.
yeah, at school.
And so they have to physically bring them from the community.
Yeah. And then according to the testimony of some parents, I feel like they are enjoy that includes that school by the way they see some kind of like by the way the kids involve, socialize, and it is like a beneficial for them, so they can have therapy daily, and then the community and then when we before that they didn't know if we can involve those kind of kids in ISEP, because most of the time in Haiti they don't see like those who have disabilities involved in school. Right now there is a few, but in COTP, because of what we are doing, that give others like
Courage.
courage to make something happen. But normally that costs a lot, because any school cannot say I'm going to do inclusive without other support. That costs a lot. So that is the one we are challenging right now. So it's one of our challenge. So if we dare to provide qualified Christian education, so we know how we will treat, how we should do it. So I think God will provide, and those who are listening to if you want to consult us, we are open to hear you, and we are open to hear your advice about that. We will very appreciate that. We will very appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a new concept for a lot of the communities in Haiti.
Yes.
And oftentimes kids with special needs, even were seen as like, maybe God doesn't have a blessing on them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But I heard a one of parents say, because his child has a disability, they say, this is maybe the kind of evil things. I say, I don't think so it is evil.
Yeah.
I don't think so it is evil. Everyone, God created us, has a purpose for that. Say, I know. She replied, I know it is hard for me. It is hard for me. It's like a curse. No, it's not a curse. It's not a curse. And when I talked to her, and I shared the story of David. David was a child like this. David was a king, but he has a child who cannot walk. So do you think God didn't have a purpose for him? And Mephibosheth, So God always has a purpose for us, no matter who you are, no matter what language you are speaking, no matter which continent we come from, no matter what color of your skin, God has a purpose for each of us.
Yeah, and the last time I was there, Jasmine really shared her vision of belonging and said everyone belongs. And when she's speaking like this, that's what I hear. Everyone belongs. And so that culture is something that is being nurtured and grown at ISAP. And that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, in the past when there is a registration, so according to what they say, but they don't care for registration. But right now they are say when we will have registration, and I give card.
Yeah.
If you don't have card, we cannot register because we cannot have a lot of students. Because the place we are is very too little, our building. So we know how we should have place to put students, and the area is very.
Right now it's very small. Everybody's desk to desk, right?
Yeah.
And you can only fit so many.
Yeah. So it's one also of our challenge, this space to build a building for students. When I visit some schools, say this is that way. Yes, I love it.
Yeah.
You're dreaming, girl, aren't you?
Yes, for
So
sure.
good.
Yeah. Well, I just want to thank you guys for coming. I know you're spending 2 weeks of just sharing your dreams and your vision with other people. And we're going to have some brochures so that it tells a little bit more specific what the story is and what the needs are. And I'm sure our church will hear more about it as time goes. And I don't know if you know, this fall, it was this church who took the offering so that the kids could eat lunch.
Thank you so much. I would like to say thank you, and we appreciate that. It's a kind of blessing. That's why there's many ways we can show love for others. Those who are suffering need some kind of maybe some kind of physical. We touch it. When it is belly, we give food. Like the same Jesus did, gave food. So thank you so much. Thank you for your heart you have for my country. It's not easy, I know, to find job, to take care for yourself and to help others, but only love can do it.
And I was there the first day they got their hot lunch again.
Wow.
And I tell you, that was a huge moment. So thank you so much, First Reformed, because that's a real hands-on way to help.
Yeah. Bernice was there. We were going to exchange places when everything shut down. So Bernice was still there, and we weren't able to go. But you did get home.
I got home, but
and safely.
And safely. It all turned out well.
And it was an adventure, and it was a beautiful adventure in which I just felt like the Spirit just lifted me through the whole journey.
It was a time to God want Bernice stay because
and he didn't want me to come.
And when Bernice there say, okay, Bernice. Bernice say, Jasmine, what do you think if you can have some kind of coaching, some kind of thing? Say, yes, it's good. And we spend some time with teachers to train teachers. We have it was a good time to us. If you want guys to help us by this way, to train some teachers to know better about for special education, how to help, how to can have one-to-one and other. So we are open to you guys. We are waiting for you. Will be open to welcome you. In advance, I say you welcome in Haiti.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for spending time with us today.
You're welcome, Sarah.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Thanks.